We have just started the first game of the season. Colorado Alpenglow at the Utah Wild. Utah has started on defense, and we got a big ol' hug for the Alpenglow. And an amazing team. My name is Leah Smith, and I'm here with Nat Merrill. Nat, what just happened?
Well, we started out on defense, and Alpenglow worked it up really nicely. They threw a huck. They threw a huck up to. We're seeing if it's out of bounds. Okay, it was out of bounds. McCready got the D on a nice huck. It was a great read by her. And then 2 throws in with the Wild. We have turned it, and now we are running an end zone set with Colorado. And they get the goal.
It looks like that was 21 to Abby Thorpe. So Abby Thorpe is the 2024 Western Ultimate League most valuable player. She is dictating already on the field and scoring easy peasy goals.
Yes, Rena Kawabata is the one who threw the assist. She plays Molly Brown in the club season and has been on Alpenglow now for, well,
no, this is her first year.
This is her first season.
Yeah, so Rena Kawabata starting on that O-line.
Yeah.
This is our first look at the Utah Wild O-line. Utah Wild had a lot of turnover in the season, between this season and the last one. We've lost O-line stalwarts with Brooke Stanislawski, as well as D-line players Mac Perquette and Ellie Shortall. So I'm excited to see what changes are made.
Yes, I am as well. They also are down a couple of our college players since they're out at Centex this weekend, so we won't be seeing Lily Terpstra or Carly Atwell. But shout out to them. We do miss them today.
Yeah, they definitely are players that can make an impact. And we have Eleanor Wachtel and Sadie Cutler also on SJU. We miss you all.
Yes. Veldman with the pole. Kircher centers it and gets it up to Kat Songer. We're back with Kircher now. Back to Songer, up to Abby Davis. Abby Davis got Rookie of the Year last year. She has come back, hopefully even better, up to Harishnikova. And we've got Quincy, who is a new player this year. She's been in the Utah system for a long time, then actually went out to Finland for a couple of years. Oh, and a nice D by Veldman.
It was a good jump back hand block.
That was incredible.
Rory Veldman's just such a strong defensive player. I'm excited to see her back this year.
Yes, me too. She always makes her will be known on the field, that's for sure. Number 2 guarding Veldman is Lizzie Cowan. She's also a new player this year on the Wild. Got Harishnikova up on the mark, and number 9
Alicia Dixon
up to Maxfield. Maxfield played with Utah Wild her first season, right?
And the Winter Cup, yeah.
At the Winter Cup, and then a couple seasons with Arizona Sidewinders, and now she's found herself in Colorado. Veldman up with the disc again.
Colorado's starting to knock on that door. They've been really patient with the disc.
Yes, they have. Looks like we're doing a forced backhand. Oh, almost a nice poach D by Songer. Got him on a sideline. Oh, layout by Lizzie Cowan, or by Harishnikova, but she just out of her reach. That's a break for Colorado Alpenglow.
I believe that was Alicia Dixon with the score with an assist by Haley Banas. We can take a look again at that point. They were able to just jimmy the mark around to get to that open side. Harishnikova tried her best with that layout, but Dixon was just too open.
It's true. That was incredible. Incredible tenacity by their D-line. Okay, now the O-line is going to stay out on the field. It looks like we subbed off Lizzie Cowan for Kate Moulton, and Amy Norris is also on now. I'm not sure for who. So we've got, Bigham, Moulton, Norris, somebody else. Let's see, it looks like Kircher. There we go. Songer, Cassie Williams, and Quincy.
Yeah, and it looks like on the Colorado side, there's Carolyn Black, who's been a pretty consistent D-line handler and has also played previously for the Utah Wild. And then a few other players like Robin Fassett-Carmen with the pull.
Colorado's D-line is coming down. It looks to be a little bit of a sag, but mostly person. Got a backhand force. It's possibly force middle. We'll find out. Kate Moulton with the disc up to Kat Songer. The nice catch. Nice around over to Amy Norris. deciding if they're
Observer
like
called it down.
It looks like she didn't quite get her fingers under the disc when she laid out.
A big put by Pesh.
And Bigham with the D.
That was some quick throw and go offense. I know that's some classic D-line huck and play D, and I'm glad Bigham was there to make that block.
Songer picking up the disc. We've got Sarah Pesh with the mark. Nice defense by Colorado. Nice put out to space by Kat Songer. She's coming back for the reset. Looks to be a loose vert stack. A little bit of a forced middle here, pretty flat. Nice little inside shot up to Kate Moulton.
Looks like Wild's primarily cutting from the front until that, which kind of jammed up the lanes, but Bigham was able to open up some space.
Looks like there's a foul on the field on the mark.
And remember, in the Western Ultimate League, there is a 4-second pre-stall after calls like this, so players can get organized before the official stall starts.
I assume Wild gets back into a vert stack. We've got a nice throw up field by Kircher. Norris now with the disc, hitting another nice, nice layout by Kircher. And,
wow,
Bigham reels it in. Way to go, Corey.
I'm going to credit that point to the Idaho players on the Wild. We had Norris playing a huge part, we had Kircher playing a huge part, and we had Bigham playing a huge part.
Yes.
Excited to see that Big Sky representation here.
Oh, that is always fun, especially when you bring in people from all over the place. It's fun to get the little pockets of players that play together a lot and then see how it works when they get together.
All right, so we can take back another look at the turns this point. We got Bigham's big block. I would say she got bookends.
Oh, yes.
Kircher with the layout save in that nice backhand inside to Bigham. Beautiful.
Now we've got our D-line out. Looks like we've got Selfridge, McCready. Their numbers are so small from here.
It is very sunny out. We have Ludak, McClurkin, Knutson, a.k.a. D Bozone. There's been a name change there. Shelke, and then Carolyn Lober with the pull. On the Colorado O-line, we have Thorpe back out there. Veldman is out there, pulled over from the D-line. So, you know, Colorado really wants this with her skills. And now we've started.
Wild really wants to get a break to get back on serve here. So in Ultimate, the offensive possessions are particularly important. And it looks like an overthrow. Number 16, Abby Thorpe, just outthrows Rory Veldman.
It's hard to outthrow Veldman.
Seriously.
But Wild was starting out in a junk set to try and stop those easy possessions, which I think was the good call.
Looks to be a forced middle, running double cuts to make sure that they can open up that mark. Shelke with the disc, looking to get it back to the middle. A nice around. McClurkin with the disc.
Called. So in the Western Ultimate League, as a reminder, it is a 7-second stall and it is player counted. So in the USAU rules, it is a 10-second stall. In the UFA rules, it is a 7-second but referee counted stall. But it looks like it was a no contest.
Oh, no contested stall. So Colorado Alpenglow will pick up the disc right now. It looks like we've got number 20, Ari Nelson, picking up the disc. Looking to swing it from the get-go. We've got some tight defense. Veldman with the disc right now. A nice IO. Back up to Nelson. And Nelson with a nice around. All the way to 76. That was a great throw to space. Sarah Levin with the score.
And Ari Nelson did a great job with enough space on that around because there were two defenders in the lane that if the disc had gone a little bit flatter, they would have been able to grab that D.
Yeah,
so Nelson is just someone you should look to if you ever want to be a good thrower.
Yes.
Just look at what they do.
Yeah, and then
live, laugh, love what they do.
I also love, so typically in this game, our weather is less than ideal for Ultimate. What have we seen during the inaugural game in a Wild season? We've seen hail, we've seen snow, we've seen slush, we've seen rain, and we have seen wind. So I think both teams are realizing that they can throw a shape out here right now. It is not windy.
There's a little bit of wind, but it's just enough to make it fun.
Yes. Looks like Wild's O-line is about to receive the disc. And we've got number 7 about to pole. Robin Fassett Carmen. Nice big pole. Beautiful. We've got Songer catching the disc, centering up to Kircher. We're running a vert stack up to Corey Bigham. Corey Bigham with a nice inside to Kate Moulton. Moulton with the disc, hitting a reset back to Kircher. A nice around to Harishnikova,
Wow.
which an insane grab. Woo! How does she do that?
Wow, and through the hand block, Moulton gets the disc.
Conservation of greatness, but she's so great she doesn't even have to worry about it. We've got Norris up with the disc, and I'm loving the spacing on this stack today. Bigham with the disc, and on the doorstep up to
Wow.
Songer. Yes, what an incredible clean hold. That was amazing.
And Wild did a great job using the width of the field. They were able to
Yes.
swing it around. They were breaking the marks on Colorado and being able to find space to easily move it up the field.
Well, and I don't think the stall count got more than stall 3, and so it's like everybody was running the system. The spacing was good.
Oh, look at Harishnikov's layout.
How does she do it?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Just incredible.
It's incredible. It's going to be a highlight reel. Sports Center top 10 right there.
She makes it look too easy.
She makes it look too easy, exactly. Oh, someday I want to grow up and be like her.
And there's Kat Songer who scored the goal. Songer is back for her 3rd year with the Wild and is a captain this year.
Which has been great fun. Who are our other 2 captains?
Harishnikova.
Harishnikova.
Yeah, and Kenzie Finnegan.
Which is a great combination of players to be captains. Okay, we've got a poll. Looks to be by Liz Bunderson.
Bunderson's also a new player and has traditionally played a lot of mixed ultimate. She's someone who will definitely shoot it when she has it. Wow!
They're not going to move up on the poll anymore with Liz polling. That was incredible. Up to 21. That is Rena Kawabata. And a nice D.
That's Morgan Williams. She's also a Utah Wild rookie, and this is actually one of her. She started club last year.
Oh, no. Get it again.
Oh, my
God. Sherwick with the save. Oh, that was incredible. Calm it down. That's Ava Hayes. This is also her first season here. Got the center, and it's back to D. Bozone. And the goal. That was incredible. Liz Bunderson for the score.
Oh, what a point.
What a break. What a break. Oh, we've got ourselves a game.
Wow.
That was incredible.
It's a tie game. Oh, big celebration from the Wild. That is incredible. Let's take another look. So,
Bobbled pole. Bring it back together, but Morgan baits that. And then now we've got Justin Cherwink. She was a D1 gymnast, which is why she can do the things she does. And then D. Bozone getting assist. Usually she's the one that gets the opening D of the game. But
yeah, normally
this time
she's the one who gets the layout.
Exactly.
She's got to step up her game.
Oh, yeah, that line out there is not one you want to throw unders to.
No, you got to run through the disc for them.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That was amazing. So we've got another D line back out. This is kind of back to the D line that we saw at the beginning of the game. We've got McCready. We've got...
It looks like Williams and Bunderson are out there still, as well as Cherwink. Finnegan has also been brought over.
Oh, Finnegan has been brought over, and number 2.
And then on Colorado, they brought Veldman over. I know she can flex, as well as Pesh. Pesh is back. She's just such a menace with the disc.
Looks to be a little bit of a pseudo side stack. Yes, and Morgan with another D. She is so fast. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she played collegiate soccer, right?
Yes, and then she played 1 season with Spiral Jetty, the University of Utah team.
Oh, no! Trying to keep it in. It's just a little too far.
But
she's
incredible,
fast. Though. 2 points, 2 Ds.
She's a player to watch.
I like those stats. We've got Shelke on the mark.
Pesh with the disc. Pesh is a lefty who is very tall.
And uses her left-handedness immediately to get it up to Veldman. A
Looks
little bit of give and go action between number 10, Train, and Veldman. Wild is locking in now.
Yeah, it looks like they were running kind of a poach set before and have now gone back to person.
Cherwink on the mark. And a nice Big backhand. Oh, and Morgan with another D. That's Williams again.
That's her
Her third D. Oh, that's incredible. 81 with the disc.
That's Lober. She is wearing a replacement jersey.
Oh, got it. Lober with the replacement jersey.
She's from Montana. She forgot to bring her dark.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
The woes of being a travel player, right?
It looks like there is a call, I believe an injury.
Shelke's coming off. Ava Hayes is coming back on. Ava played with on the I can't remember if she played on the women's or the mixed worlds team, U19 worlds team last summer or the summer before. She is from Texas but has come up here to Utah. We are so happy to have her. Irina Kawabata is in,
I hope
marking up on Liz Bunderson.
Okay. Lober with the disc.
Over to Finnegan. Finnegan with some nice hops. Over to Cherwink. We've got Rory Veldman on the mark. And just a little too low. Colorado's going to get another chance. Pesh over to Facet Carmen. Oh, nice layout attempt by Cherwink on Veldman. And high and floaty, and it's going to work. We get it to Robin Facet Carmen.
And I think that just shows the tenacity of both of these teams.
Yes,
they were both
yes.
working so hard, running through their cuts. The Utah defense, I think, is definitely making Colorado think twice about how they're moving.
Yes, exactly.
Which I think if you watch the initial break of the game, you're like, ooh. But just looking at these plays, Utah, Colorado has always been a wild game.
It has been.
Not pun intended.
Yeah. We're not just shouting out wild again and again. Oh, man. Morgan with, I think, 2 Ds in that.
2 Ds in that point.
And it just barely overthrown disc, which was unfortunate, but a visionary throw by Veldman.
It is also very funny that Veldman and Cherwink are matched up because Veldman is 6 feet tall while Cherwink is 5 feet tall.
Like we said, D1 gymnast.
D1 gymnast, but she got the hops.
Yes, she does. She is so jumpy. It's incredible. And I have heard tall people say they really dislike being guarded by short people. So it's the perfect matchup if you ask me.
Yeah, it's one to watch.
We've got number 9 with our poll. That is Alicia Dixon. And we have Quincy picking up the disc. That's Quincy McKean. This is her first pro game. She played in Finland for a few years when she was living out there and then has come back to Utah maybe 2 years ago. Oh, and Williams up to Abby Davis, but Abby Davis gives it her best effort, but it's just out of reach. Got a nice around. And a big huck. Let's go, Williams. Williams with the D. Oh.
Yeah, Williams really saw that coming early and was able to maintain her space to make sure that Maxfield couldn't get that.
Yeah, it's true. Now we've got Kircher picking up the disc. We've got Abby Davis. Oh, but she's back out of the set. Okay, we have got Songer with the disc. A nice around. Up to Lizzie Cowan. Oh, no! Oh,
observer called down.
Paige attempts to keep it alive, but our luck has run out. Oh, the crowd doesn't like it. The crowd disagrees. Alicia Dixon picking up the disc. And we have another D. Kircher isn't going to let this one. He's going to make sure this one hits the ground. And a timeout called before the throw?
I think before the throw.
That means that Colorado will maintain possession of the disc. They'll get to come out, and they can sub players if they want, right?
Yes, so they can do full line subs, or they can do a pick and choose. I'm assuming that Colorado will want to put out their O-line because we have about 1:30 left in the quarter, and I know they want to seal the deal, especially because their the next quarter they will start on defense.
Exactly. So if this is a really important point for them, the other important thing is trying to run down the clock. So if they can score this point and also make it so we can't get another point, that gives them a 2-point advantage going into the second quarter. If that's the case, then even though Wild is starting out on offense at next point, you're still coming back to only being within 1 point. So
exactly. And it looks like we have Ari Nelson standing over the disc, so I'm assuming they will be the ones to pick it up. And it looks like Alpenglow has their more traditional O-line, or at least what we've seen today, with Kawabata, Ito, Levin, Thorpe, and 14 is McLaughlin. So that's a real power line out there.
Wild is bringing out their D line, and it looks to be a combination of the first D line that we saw. It looks like we've got McCready, we've got Shelky, we've got
Lober, McClurkin, Selfridge, Knutson, and Ludak. Which is a lot of new players. I mean, coming from last year, the only returners are Knutson and Shelky.
Yes, it's true. McCready did not play last year. She had a baby instead, but she played the previous 2 years. But is excited to be back on the field.
Good news is her babies are adorable.
Oh, they are. Beautiful babies. Here we go. Looks to be a little bit of a zone to hopefully interrupt their initial play. We've got Ludak on the disc, and a nice read by Colorado, but just overthrown. No.
Wow.
Oh.
Lober picking up with McCready on tight defense.
McCready up to Shelky. We've got Shelky up to
Ooh.
Knutson.
No call. Knutson's stronger than most.
Yes, exactly. And Knutson back on the mark. Looks to be a person D now. And a nice floaty. Let's see if Ludak can get it this time.
Ooh.
No, barely out of reach. So that means Colorado goes up. There's 50 seconds left, which makes it possible. One thing that is fun about the WUL is that you can play past when the time runs out. And so if there is a turn, then the point is over. Let's look at our turn right here. This is our D, getting it back. We've got our next turn.
And then the big huck.
This is the big huck turn. Well, not on the turn, but on the next throw.
And just
this is the score.
And remember, even though the Colorado O-line was out there, this originally started as a D point for Colorado. So that is a break. Yes. And so now Colorado is up 5-3.
5-3. We have a chance. This is a must-score point for us. So we've got a chance to score, and 50 seconds. As long as we don't turn it over, then we have more time. But for sure, 50 seconds to score. And you definitely don't want Colorado to have any time for them to score. So
I know. So the clock
50
stops,
seconds, but don't go too fast.
during the last 2 minutes of play, as well as it is final possession after the buzzer goes off. So whether it's a score or a turn after the 50 seconds, then
that's the end. We've got Quincy McKean with the disc up to Kate Moulton. Over to Kircher, back around. Looks like Colorado is doing a little bit of a sag, trying to interrupt the quick score. Norris with the disc, up to Kircher. Got some contact. McKean up with the disc.
Ooh.
And it was a hand block by 33. That is Alex Daniels.
And there is about 10 seconds left on the clock, so I think Colorado's going to try and run it while Wild needs to get this defense.
Yes. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, okay, so now Colorado needs to just finish the possession. That can be a turn, or ideally for them, a goal.
And we've got Veldman with the disc on the doorstep. And looks to be an easy goal. Up to number 2, that's Mayhecht. She's new this season to Colorado, correct?
Yes, yeah, so she has been around the ultimate scene for a while. She's actually one of their players to watch, and so I love to see a rookie thriving.
Yes, that was incredible. Well, Colorado played that first quarter perfectly. I mean, they got broken one time, but are going into the second quarter up 6-3. That being said, I feel like, did we play our home opener against Colorado last year?
I'm uncertain. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I know we played our final game against Colorado.
Okay. Whatever was Utah's home opener game, they were down like 4 or 5 points going into the second half. And were able to come back and win. Do you remember?
Yeah, that was against Bay Area.
That's who it was. That
All
was
right.
an incredible game.
We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back for the second quarter. See y'all soon. August 16th and 17th in Salt Lake City. There will be a women's, mixed, and open divisions. We are now accepting bids. Scan the QR code on the screen for the bid form or email skitownclassic@gmail.com for more information. We are thrilled to announce the official brewery for the Utah Wild 2025 season, Bewilder Brewing. You can find us celebrating every Utah Wild game this year at our local brew pub. Their huge projector screen, great food menu, and award-winning beer makes Bewilder a great home for our watch parties and after parties. Be wilder and head on over to Bewilder Brewing after the game for our official after party. This venue is 21 plus. We'd like to shout out two of Utah Wild's sponsors, Selfridge Counseling and WBT Industries. Their support of women and non-binary athletes helps make this season possible. For more information on these organizations, visit utahwildultimate.org/sponsors. Thank you all for sponsoring the Utah Wild. Planning your club ultimate season? Come to Ski Town, August 16th and 17th in Salt Lake City. There will be a women's, mixed, and open divisions. We are now accepting bids. Scan the QR code on the screen for the bid form or email skitownclassic@gmail.com for more information. Welcome back. We are about to start the second quarter of the inaugural Western Ultimate League 2025 season. Reminder, my name is Leah Smith. I'm here with Nat Merrill. Nat, what's been happening so far?
Wow. Great catch by Kate Moulton. And that's a turn. Alpenglow disc. Sarah Pesh picks up. D by. That's a turn. Wild disc in front of the end zone.
So Wild is back on offense. Oh, Haruzhnikova. Wasn't sure if she was throwing to Song or a Moulton.
Back to Kate. And a nice layout by Corey Bingham.
It looks like with the Wild, they're still playing like Colorado's in a zone, even though Colorado has moved back to person. Wow.
Nice huck from Haruzhnikova to Abby Davis. Can she get it? No. Just a little too far. If there's somebody that could get there, it's Abby Davis.
Yeah.
Bummer. So on defense for the Utah Wild O-line. And we were just talking, we're not sure if, we know that the Wild O-line has had one clean hold. We're not sure if Colorado has had any clean holds, but this is their D-line picking up the disc. Up to 97, Pesh. Pesh around to number 9. That is Alicia Dixon. Dixon looking to go nice and high up to Pesh again. That was a nice call. And then a nice big left-handed huck. We've got Norris on defense and number 8, Shayna Brock,
Wow.
with the score.
Shayna Brock has previously been on the Alpenglow, but I don't think she played last season due to an ACL tear. So we're so excited to see her back on the field thriving.
I am. It is always so motivating to see people come back from ACL tears, and it's so sad when it happens. Absolutely devastating. So that is amazing that she's back and playing so well.
And that is a break for Colorado. So Colorado is now up by 4 points. You can look at that just baited throw from Moulton and then that original turn from Brock. But you know what? Hey, instead of the assist, she got the goal at the end.
Exactly. Who wants assists anyway?
Haruzhnikova's big huck. And then Pesh's big throw to Brock. I think on the Wild offense, they need to work on their the offense needs to work on their defense, and specifically stopping those open side unders, because it looks like Colorado is being able to easily get around.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. So we've got Feldman with the pole now. We're coming down to the O-line again. This time we've got McKean and Williams sub on for maybe Norris and somebody else, and McKean.
It looks like Bigham is off, and then Cowan is also on.
Oh, yep.
Quincy McKean to pick it up.
Oh, yeah, McKean with the disc over to Paige Kircher.
Centers to Kat Songer.
over to Kircher. Oops, Kat Songer, 2-page Kircher.
Ooh.
Harishnikova,
Oh,
but it's
a
down.
foul
We've got a foul
called.
called.
Abby Davis is signaling a foul on the throw.
We may go to observers on this one. It looks like her defender is not certain there was a foul. As number 14, Jade McLaughlin.
And McLaughlin is just such a solid player. She's been around for a really long time and has just been so successful in the Western Ultimate League.
Yes, it's true.
It looks like foul.
Observer ruling it is a
Observer
foul.
rules that it is a foul.
It is a foul. So we've got Abby Davis back with the disc.
And then we get that 4-second freestall again. So that means Wild can kind of get organized. That was a very fast freestall. Violation?
Violation.
I think the violation might have been on the observer for getting that pre-stall.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
Yes,
it's the
that's
beginning of the season for all of us.
Exactly.
We're all
exactly.
very patient.
It's not just us. Nice little lefty around to
Centers to
Kircher.
Kircher.
And Kircher up to Songer. Let's see a nice big huck. We've got Songer up to Williams. Oh, the placement on that was incredible by Songer. I love how she got it up in the air over Rory Veldman all the way to Williams.
There were two defenders on the play, and if it had gone either direction a little bit more, Colorado would have been able to take a bite out of it. But it was perfectly weighted. Let's take another look. Kat Songer repping the Wilds.
Oh, what a nice huck. What I love about Songer, I feel like she is unflappable. She's played every level of this game, and so she doesn't worry about her huck. She just puts it. She just puts it up. I love it. So now we've got Wild's D line out. We've got Liz Bunderson again with the pole. We've got Morgan Williams, who now has 3 Ds.
Player to watch.
Yep, exactly. D. Knutson, Finnegan, Ava Hayes, McClurrick, and Chirpy.
All right, we got Liz.
So we can take a big look.
You've got Liz with a huge pole. She has incredible power on her throws. Number 3 catches it and centers, May Hecton centers it up to number 20, Ari Nelson.
It looks like Wild's kind of in a junkie set again, stopping those initial big hucks.
Nelson with the disc again, up to number 4. That is Sarah Ito. I feel like we say her name a lot. She's been a little bit quiet this game, but she's an incredible player. I'm sure we're going to see more from her soon.
Up to Ari.
And we've got Nelson with the disc again.
Yeah, they were able to just easily work it up to Ito.
Yeah. Ito around. Utah's playing maybe a little bit of a forced middle. That was a swoop over there. And 20 with the disc. That's Ari Nelson again. Oh,
not
incredible
in.
up to space, but 21's not quite in
That,
space.
oh,
Oh,
they're
and they call it a score.
calling it score. Okay. Observer says yes.
Once you catch the disc, your first point of contact needs to be in the end zone. And so they're saying that she was able to jump, then caught the disc.
All right, let's go.
We're gonna
Let's
get
get a
one
little
more angle.
spicy. Determine for yourself. I would say line.
Yeah, I would say line as well. Line is out in ultimate frisbee. So if it touches any part of the line, it is out.
But that is another great point for Colorado. That is a hold for them, but
Yes.
they still are 4 points ahead of the Wild.
Yeah, they're doing incredible. We've got their D line out.
And I don't think we've seen a lot of different defensive looks from Colorado. It seems that we've seen them throw that zone, like, I think twice.
Yeah.
But they crumble down into person pretty quickly. Once the Wild break through and or turn it. And so I'm interested to see if they're going to continue with what they're doing on defense. It seems to be pretty successful.
Yeah, I agree. And we've got Songer picking up the disc, getting it up to Kircher. Kircher right in the middle. It looks like we're running a vert stack, even though there's a little bit of a sag.
Yeah, Colorado heard me talking there. So
Yeah,
it looks like it looks very zony with Robin Fassett-Carmen in that deep space.
Swings from the Utah Wild
Bigham with the
handlers,
disc.
up to Corey Bigham.
Holding, just kind of slowly chipping away, moving up the field just a few meters at a time. A nice big upline to Cassie. And Cassie up to McKean, or Williams up to McKean, and then McKean to Amy Norris. Looks like there was miscommunication, and Norris with a beautiful score. I feel like Wild is settling into the zone a little bit better, not wondering, not seeing the zone come down and going, okay, what do we need to do right this second? But just chill into it, and then
Yeah, it looked like the Wild was able to kind of chunk through their zone instead of forcing it. They were doing some pretty easy cuts to break through, and then you get to see Williams, who got it on the side, over to McKean, who throws, I believe, her first assist
As a pro player.
as a pro player.
Incredible. Also a mother of 2.
We love our
We
moms.
do love our moms.
And Norris has just been such a consistent player. She's been on the Wild for every year it's existed.
That's true.
She's from Boise, and I believe last year played on Dark Sky for Club, and
Yeah.
she is just one of the most consistent players I've ever seen.
It's true. And correct me if I'm wrong, did Norris start as a practice player in
No,
early season? She's been
rostered
every
the
year?
whole
Okay.
time, but she's been switching between the O and the D line because she is so consistent.
Yes, it's true. Liz Bunderson with another monster pull. And we've got number 3, that is Mayhead getting the disc up to Nelson. Nelson with a nice around. Colorado is incredible at using the left to right.
And Wild is coming down in a zone, but it looks like they're having a harder time sealing their edges. So what
I
that
agree.
means is that they are allowing big arounds, which doesn't seem to be the intention of this play. Or if I'm wrong, someone will tell me.
Yeah, you're going to get a text message right now. They're really, Wild is really front-loading the handlers. I think they're trying to stop Colorado from going through the middle, which Colorado's not going through the middle now. So in that way, it has been very effective. That being said, and we get a lucky one.
Yeah,
Veldman up to number 16.
That's Thorpe. Very
Thorpe.
uncharacteristic.
Yes. Running a bird stack. No, and a miscommunication, but
I think if it's a
There's
pick,
a
it
pick, it's just
stays
play
as
on.
is. It looks like it was for Finnegan, but she thought Ludak was following her.
yeah, she wasn't sure if the disc was for her. Okay, we've got Nelson picking up the disc with Shelke on the mark. It looks like we're trapping sideline with this zone. We've got a nice big hug. Bunderson under the disc, and
Wow!
Veldman with a monster grab.
Wow, that's an incredible matchup. Veldman with a great grab under tight pressure. Bunderson was really coming in with their body and playing safely. Gotta say. But you look at that tight matchup, both of them jockeying for the space, and Veldman just had slightly better position with her hips towards the disc and was able to make that reach.
I feel like Veldman was able to sight the disc just a little bit sooner, which gives you a huge advantage. Which is
The disc was for her.
Yes,
so,
I
yeah.
know, exactly. It's true. Okay, so that makes it 9-5. Colorado Alpenglow is up. I'm curious. They came down in the zone last time again, but I feel like Wild was able to adjust quickly and were able to beat it in just a couple of throws. So do they come down zone again, or do we see person?
And I was going to say, there's a flag that I can see, and it doesn't look like there's much wind happening right now, which is really important when you're throwing a zone, especially with players like Kircher and Songer who are not afraid to throw those silly throws like hammers and scoobers. They're very effective in zones, especially when there's no wind.
Wild is coming out in a vert stack again. We've got Songer with the disc, looking to run a little bit of a split play. Abby Davis with the disc, up to Kate Moulton. Kate Moulton has been on Wild for a while, a practice player, and then now roster player. I think she was rostered a little bit last year as well. Oh, what a nice turnaround. We've got Hirschnikova with the disc, over to Paige Kircher.
Wow.
Up to Songer.
Just a little scoop from Songer getting
Okay.
around.
And Moulton with the disc, not quite in, knocking on the doorstep. And stall count is rising. It's going to be floating, and Kircher pulls it down with authority. And the shoe shine.
Incredible grab by Kircher. A high stall moment from the Wild. Wow.
Trust throw.
Trust
That's
throw.
That's what that is.
I would trust Paige with my life.
Yes, I would too.
We can take another look at that throw. Wow, incredible.
You said you would trust Paige with your life, and you're not the only person I've heard that from.
So we have the big layout.
And trust throw up to Kircher, rips it down with authority. That was incredible.
And I was going going to compliment Moulton because she's a player that I've just seen get better and better year over year. And I think that's true with all of the possessions she's had. These are really tough defenders that she's cutting against, and she's consistently been getting open.
I have noticed the same thing. Well, and in the zone, she doesn't stop moving, which is
she's like a shark.
Yes, yeah, she's
if she stops moving, she dies.
Look, she's even moving right now.
She is, I would say, the #1 dancer on the Wild.
Oh, here she goes. Here she goes.
She's not on
dancing.
camera, but I promise it's great.
Also, she just got engaged, so she's unavailable for those people looking for dancers.
Congrats to Kate.
We've got May Hecht again up to Nelson. A little bit more of a throw and go set, trying to get ahead of the play before the defense is set. Shelke's calling, or a foul called on Shelke. Nelson is calling it, saying she was bumping her as they're going through, but that's a difficult one.
It's so hard when you're jockeying for the same space. I think there is, everyone kind of has their own limit on how much contact is allowed, and honestly, sometimes when you're in these high pressure situations, you allow a little bit less.
Yes, exactly.
When it comes to a turn.
Exactly.
So they did not go to the observer, and so the disc goes back to Hecht.
So that is a contested foul. Shelke is saying, she doesn't think that it was a foul. She feels like she had the same play on the disc, and so now we get that 4-second countdown. Hecht is looking to go straight back to Nelson. Nelson up to
Did not want to leave Thorpe just wide open.
Yes, and then that was Kawabata again. And Kawabata all the way around to #4, Sarah Ito. Like I said, we're going to be hearing more from Sarah Ito very soon.
And that, I believe, is Kawabata's 3rd assist of the game. So she's really making her mark.
She's incredible. She's incredible.
And I think the Wild's defense, they are trying, I'm going to just backseat coach. But it seems like they're trying to play more of a poach set, especially to clog the cutting lanes. But since they don't have someone like hard on the mark for those players, it leaves players like Thorpe wide open, which is really what you don't want to do.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've got a D line from Colorado coming out, pulling to an O line.
I think since besides the first point, has been only holds for this quarter so far.
Oh yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Okay, so a Wild hold. Wild's got to get a break.
They got to hold and then they got to break.
Hold and then break if they're going to stay in this game. So Rory with a monster pull.
All right, disc goes up.
And we've got Kircher getting up to Cat. It looks like we are continuing to run our vert stack, which quickly crumbles into an H stack. Got Williams looking off McKean, not going. Oh, we tried another trust throw up to Kircher, but that one didn't work quite as well.
Sometimes the luck runs out.
Yes, sometimes the luck runs out. We've got a forced forehand from Kircher.
Carolyn Black to pick
and a throwaway. Just
wow.
kidding.
I mean, that's Williams tried to poach in the lane and left her player wide open. But wow, that was a great grab.
That was a great grab. We've got,
that was, I believe, Banas.
Looks to be a pit called or something. We've got number 97, Sarah Pesh with the disc, lining back up.
Pesh with the disc.
And Pesh is that just tall lefty handler who will just throw wherever she wants.
Yeah, Shayna Brock back up to Pesh. Pesh back to Brock.
Rings back to Shayna Brock.
Now 51 with the disc. Ooh, Grace Brown.
That was really tight D from Davis, but Veldman is able to throw the assist to Pesh. So I cursed it. There is a second break for this quarter.
We need to stop talking about that. Where's Wood? We've got to knock on it.
No, but that was really just consistent offense from Alpenglow. I don't think the Wild is doing a lot of dictating on their defense, except for when Abby had that really close look on Veldman.
Yes.
But yeah, I think the Wild needs to step up their defensive game a little bit.
Yeah. And we've got the O-line back out.
So you can see that turn from Williams. And then Veldman with just that beautiful throw to a wide open Pesh.
That was incredible. Okay, and
well, that was Robin Passett Carmen. I might have given the layout to Banas, and I'm so sorry. to our stat keepers at home as well as to Passett Carmen.
Okay, and we've got number 14. That is Jade McLaughlin with our poll.
Jay
There she
McLaughlin
goes.
on the
Beautiful
pole to the
pole.
Utah Wild.
From watching the poles, it seems like
And that is
this
out of bounds.
direction is maybe the slightly downwind direction. I feel like our poles going to the left have been a little further, but this one gets bricked. Get to bring it in 20 yards up, or actually where it went out, looks to be about 25 yards up. The Songer is
First brick of the game.
Oh, yeah, it's the first brick of the game.
And it looks like Colorado's still setting up in that zone.
Even further up. Zone up to Quincy. Quincy rips a huck to Moulton. Who's going to come down with it? Oh, no!
Oh, she jumped too
Moulton
soon!
jumps too soon, but back on defense. Waste no time.
Bristol with the grab.
Bristol with the grab, and now 14, back with the disc, up to number 6. That's Spanish. 14, we've got Jade McLaughlin. And they're just moving at a lightning speed right now. Oh no, we've got a, oh no!
Wow.
A miscue, there's a wide open number 14, Jade McLaughlin, but they throw it just a little bit out of bounds.
Wow.
It was very lucky.
Lucky for the Wild.
Whoever, oh, and it looks like it went out
Further
up the field, which is always fun for the team that gets to pick it up.
Yeah, it looks like it was thrown with just the wrong edge and it floated out instead of in.
And we're over to McKean. McKean up to Kircher. Kircher looks off. Oh, is going to go up to Williams.
Beautiful throw to Cass Williams.
Williams is looking back to Kircher. I feel like Kircher's about to get creative. We got Norris with the disc. The Boise women working the disc up. Oh no, just a little too high for Cassie Williams.
Yeah, I think Paige was looking to shoot it deep, especially trying to stretch the field a little bit more, and Williams and Bigham were just trying to stay in the mid-range.
Stay tight, yeah. Williams is an incredible deep receiver, and just receiver in general, and so I can see you go deep.
You too.
And, oh, nice hops.
Yeah, that was close, but that was a great grab by Hecht.
Sticky fingers.
Tucked around to number 9. That is Alicia Dixon. Dixon with the disc. Number 12, Andrews.
Let's see him get it back.
Andrews up to McLaughlin. Over to Grace Brown. Oh, and just barely missed.
Just bounced off.
Oh, and it looks like we've got a call. Maybe, was it a foul on the throw?
Oh, timeout called.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Fantastic use of timeout by Colorado. Again, literally saving the possession.
Yes.
And just for the folks at home, each team gets, I believe, 2 timeouts per half. And Colorado has used both of theirs now. Utah has used none.
Which the timeouts I feel like are an incredible weapon to be used. I mean, weapon is maybe a little bit of a strong word, but I mean, with
It's a tool.
a tool, yes. With those 4 timeouts, I mean, essentially you can save 4 turns, which Colorado has. So far they've saved 2. Both timeouts that they called have resulted, like there was a turn, but then because they called the timeout, they're able to get possession back, which also is difficult as like a Wild player, right? When you're on defense and you just did your job.
Yeah. You want the reward of
You want
scoring.
the reward, exactly, and then you don't get it, but that's okay.
No, it looks like, I mean, Colorado is able to put out their O-line, which has been incredibly consistent.
Yes,
I believe
yes,
they've
yes.
only been broken once, twice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
pretty bad
I
at
think
counting.
just
once.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is I feel like we're partway through the game. We're getting deep in the game. Legs are getting a little bit tired. That was a pretty long point. You could tell that people are moving a little bit slower. So it is nice to get to use a timeout, get those 2 lines off the field, 2 fresh lines back in.
Come in with a game plan too, because also if your game plan was like, oh, we're gonna play person and then go into a vert stack if we get the turn, versus with an O-line where you can say, hey, we're gonna run this play, we're gonna have this strategy, we have these people to rely on.
It looks to be a vert stack by Colorado, but Wild's coming out in a zone, very heavy on top.
Yes.
And nice reset over there to May Hecht. And we've got over to Veldman. Looks like Wild's defense is kind of allowing the right to left movement, really not wanting anything up front, kind of saying, we dare you to throw the huck. And we've got defenders down there. Nice up the sideline, up to Ito. Back to Abby Thorpe. Abby Thorpe over to Hecht. And then back in a vert stack, and Wild is in person defense now. Thorpe over, oh, nope, Thorpe still with the disc. That seemed like a very slow stall count. And we've got Veldman up to Hecht. Back to Nelson. Nelson up to Veldman. A nice around all the way to Thorpe.
Beautiful switch of the field.
Yes. Nelson back with the disc. Nelson and Thorpe.
Oh, and the time's almost out. I forgot about that. So Colorado is running clock. You know that they could score, honestly, at any time. So they were running out the clock so they could seal the deal with this.
Yeah. Veldman with the disc. Now we're going to be, I'm sure, seeing some shots. More likely, oh, it looks like Schalke's calling a push-off, a foul on Nelson. Just saying, yeah, when you made that cut, you came into my space a little more than I think what is allowable.
We'll see what happens, but they should get that 4-second pre-stall, which is dangerous, especially when you're in that red zone.
Yeah, it's true. Hecht with the disc again. They're doing an incredible job just choosing safe shots. Oh, and it's just a little too far. No goal, and that's the end of the quarter.
That is the end of the quarter.
Oh.
Colorado will still come out on offense at the start of Q3. But oh my goodness, what a game. Even though Colorado is up by 5, I personally feel like this game is way tighter. It feels way tighter.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Which, when refresh my memory, in the finals last year, Colorado won by 6?
I think 8.
Or 8?
I think it was 20-12.
Oh, yes. But I feel like Utah had a run maybe in the third quarter where they kind of brought it back, and then at the end of, in the fourth quarter, Colorado kind of ran away with it again. But I'm interested to see. I feel like Wild is such a gritty team that no lead is safe.
If you read the Western Ultimate League blog, which I highly recommend, our writers mentioned that in the regular season, Wild won or lost within 3 points for every single game.
That's incredible.
So
we're
never count the Wild out.
Yes.
But yeah, I think this is a game where, Colorado should be feeling pretty confident. They haven't thrown a lot of silly turns. They've been able to generate some really good Ds. And they just have a lot going for them. And I think Wild needs to just work on their offensive defense.
Yes, I agree. I feel like we're seeing some sets where we're coming down a vert, but then Colorado keeps coming down on a zone, so we're needing to switch quickly. So it's interesting because in the WUL, you have a really short time between points, much shorter than you do in club.
Yes.
And so, especially when somebody's actually counting it, right? And so it gets difficult to make those play calls because you'll have this moment of, okay, we need to hurry, and then you make a play call, but it maybe wasn't the best thing because you didn't quite have enough time to think about it. So.
I know. So yeah, it's been a really good game so far. I think we should definitely shout out some just good players to watch. We still, even though Bigham had a quieter second quarter, she has 1 goal, 1 assist, and 1 D. Morgan Williams on the Wild has 3 Ds.
Yes.
While Kawabata has 3 assists.
Yes.
And I think Veldman, I don't know, at least at the end of Q1, I don't know the updated Q2 stats, but 2 assists and 1 D. And so, everyone is playing pretty consistently. I wouldn't say one person is significantly dominating. Maybe Williams with the Ds.
It's been an incredible game.
All right, so this is the end of the first half. We'll come back and see what happens with the rest of this game. See you in a second.
See you soon.
We believe that women and non-binary athletes deserve to be seen and our abilities showcased for the world to see.
We believe in perpetuating Ultimate by establishing professional teams and developing future generations of players.
We believe players of all identities and backgrounds deserve an equal opportunity to be recognized and lauded for our achievements in our sport.
We believe in sustainably and responsibly creating equitable and accessible avenues for women and non-binary athletes to join and participate in our sport.
We believe that being transparent,
open,
and responsive to criticism is critical,
and that there should always be space
to fix our mistakes,
grow, and be better.
We are the Western Ultimate League.
Will you do a backflip? Woo! All right, let's hear it, crowd. Let's
If
hear
Justine
it.
hurts herself on the backflip,
Let's go. And there's a backflip. For those who don't know, fun fact, just
planning your club ultimate season? Come to Ski Town, August 16th and 17th in Salt Lake City. There will be a women's, mixed, and open divisions. We are now accepting bids. Scan the QR code on the screen for the bid form or email skitownclassic@gmail.com for more information.
showing up Justine Sherwing in the sport of gymnastics. Kate, we don't want you to do a backflip. All right, we have Nat Merrill walking the stands, getting some fresh air after being stuck up in the box, commentating the live stream. A movie star in our midst.
So we can start you with basic ones that like when they score, hit 5, and then you can just, if you hit 5, you can demonstrate but don't worry about that to start, just get the angles down and try it.
Believe it or not, the Wild isn't the only professional ultimate team in town. Men play frisbee too! Their season starts May 3rd with their home opener at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman. Come out and show your support for the ultimate community in Salt Lake. Hey, if you play for the Shred, let's see your hands in the air. I see a Snog. I see Ellie Finnegan raising her hand.
Switch back off.
I don't know if she plays for the Shred. Hey, I see Jordan Kerr waving to us in the box.
Switch to input? Yeah, back to
A
input.
kiss? Was blown. I see Nathan Huff out of the corner of my eye. I actually don't see him, but Snog is pointing.
He probably was like, I can drink and still school you.
Fun fact, Nathan Huff captained the Utah Shred last year. But enough about the Shred. Sorry, boys. We've got the Wild to talk about. All right, on the count of 3, everybody yell out the name of the person they want to see do a crazy thing in the second half of this game. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I heard a lot of names. In the booth, someone said Justine.
Number 2 going to be right at the beginning of the season. I'll probably just be like, it's on a spring league, summer league.
I might do a team and just like.
Or I might go play like Hawks or something. Like chill with Hawks.
That's like my speed.
Yeah.
Like one tournament section.
All right, let's hear a round of applause for folks that are here to support someone who is playing on the Utah Wild for their first season ever. Round of applause. We are so excited about our rookies this year. They are dominant, they're athletic, they're smart, they're beautiful, and they're going to crush it this season. All right, let's hear a round of applause for folks that are to support someone that's been on the team for 2+ years.
What's up, Wimmer?
Our veterans. Are you here for a Wild veteran?
We're attempting. I want to get on.
They're pretty good.
No,
They're pretty cool.
like West Coast. Northwest. So maybe Seattle. close line. I mean,
All right, just over a minute until we start our second half.
Granted, I don't like this.
when's the last time? No, never. I've never liked
This winter has been like every like 7 day to get blue skies.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
We haven't had snow down here though. I heard that, yeah, that's what I heard. That's so clear. Like if you ski and snowboard, the mountains will get shoots of snow, but nothing in the valley.
So it's just been like.
So like to put it into perspective, March, this month was the first year I had to get my snow shovel out and shovel the snow off my driveway. But I love that because it all jumps in the back. Oh no, it's great. Then you're like, I don't have to deal with it out there. I love that because like even for me as a truck driver doing dirt work, I never did a lot of work. I mean,
All right, fans, welcome back to the second half. Your Utah Wild trail by 5. The score is Utah Wild 6, Alpenglow 11. But I got a good feeling about the second half. How about you?
And we are back for the second half of Colorado Alpenglow at Utah Wild. At this time, Colorado is up by 5 points with the scoreboard 11-6, but this game has been beauty. We have seen some huge plays and just some even bigger goals.
It has been incredible. What I'm seeing or what I'm feeling like needs to happen.
I know, I looked
feel
over
like
and I was like,
we got, or the Wild got more turns when they were playing person defense. I feel like the Alpenglow have kind of settled into a little bit of a zone, which, like we talked about earlier, they get out of it.
We've got Justine, Liz, Anna, Morgan, Ava, Kenzie, and Dee,
and
the disc goes up.
That's where we got the most forced turns, and kind of that's when we had the best momentum. We've got Hecht up to Nelson up to Kawabata. Kawabata looking to the middle, and it looks like we did just come out in person defense. Thorpe with the disc. Thorpe around to Nelson. And Nelson just barely overthrows number 76, Sarah Levin.
What I love about Nelson is when they have a shot, they will take it. And I think they are an incredible thrower and have skilled enough receivers that 99% of the time it works. Which is why they were the offensive player of the year for 2024.
Yeah, that's true. We got Bunderson up to Ava Hayes. Ava Hayes looking to come around and throws to a perch defender, number 14, back with the disc. That's Levin.
And Alpenglow is on the doorstep.
So I was going to say Thorpe was currently unmarked, but Finnegan picked it up. But it doesn't even matter because Sarah Levin gets the goal.
Alpenglow score. Sarah Levin brings in the score for the
Colorado also has a few players that left
Utah
from
Wild
last year,
6.
which and some of their kind of key players that are not here this season. But it's been fun to see these other players like just really sub in, and it's nice when you're just bringing in a couple of new players with a really solid core that has already been playing together for a lot of years now.
Yeah, I was going to say with Colorado, I mean they're missing some key players like Kristen Reed, Bailey Shigley, and Blaise Sevier, but it doesn't seem like they miss them.
Yeah, exactly. They're able to just jump right back in. It looks like we're going to have Veldman with the pole again. Like we said, these are short between points, and so
Rory Veldman
I
with
do
the
love
disc
watching
for the
the pointing. Hurry, getting the
Identify
assignments out.
who you're doing, who you're on, what are we doing? Yeah, they have to move really quickly, which is how important practice is for these
Utah
teams.
Wild O-line.
And it looks to be, let's see, we've got Bigham, Norris, Songer, Moulton,
Disc is up.
Davis, Williams, and Quincy, which makes me wonder, oh no, Kirchner's just kidding. I didn't see Kirchner. I was like, maybe they brought her over to the D-line, but that is not true. Got Kircher up the middle, up to Bigham, back to Kircher. Moulton has just been turning it up in the middle of the field. We've got McKean with a nice placed huck over to Williams, and is she in? It is a goal. Wow, inbounds, but wait.
Oh, but there's a call on the field.
The FAR observer called it in, but I would not say he has the best. But it's still called. So observers in the Western Ultimate League can call up, down, in, and out. Any other time they are brought in, they can make a determination on a call if asked. But in important things like this, in and out, just like with Kawabata's goal earlier,
Let's see that. I love seeing that connection again. McKean and Williams played together for several years in college at BYU.
Yeah, the BYU peak years.
Yes.
BYU.
Yes. Well, BYU as they were getting to be the program that they are now. It was kind of the beginning back when Kendra Miller was a player then and is now their coach. But when she was a player, and then with Williams and McKean, they really put the BYU women's team on the map.
Good luck with Northwest Challenge.
They're doing
BYU
some
also.
thoughts to the D line.
I hope that you're doing that. I thought about you also.
So, while D-line is
Looks
back
like
out there, I know that they are
Carolyn
chomping at the bit
Lober is
to
going to
at
pull
least get
the
another
Utah
break. They
Wild.
did not get a break during the second quarter, and so I know that they want another one. So hopefully we'll see that change to a stronger person defense, as we saw during their first point of this one.
Carolyn with the pull.
We've got a nice big pole.
Disc is up.
Nice and floaty, which is going to give them time to get
And
settled. It is not
inbounds.
brick, so coming in on the
Mayhem
sideline.
centers.
And we've got
Picks up.
Pipe with the disc again.
No mark, so she's just standing there as she should, but
And straight up to, over to Nelson. Nelson with the disc, looking at Kawabata, looks her off. Now looking to get it to Thorpe. Thorpe with the disc through the middle to 14. That was Jade McLaughlin. Back to Hecht.
Resets to Hecht. Over to Nelson.
it looks like Wild is trying to force
Nelson
middle, but
shoots
Colorado's
to
been able to
11.
work through it with a big old
And
put to
it's-
Pesh.
Oh, and Pesh
Or
with
to
the-
Levin. Sorry, wrong
Okay.
Sarah.
Yeah. And Pesh with another goal. That's 2 for her this
11 brings
quarter.
it down. Alpenglow
4 total.
13, Wild
4 total,
7.
2 this quarter.
Wow.
That was
Yeah,
Ari
Levin is
Nelson
just an incredible
to
receiver.
Sarah Levin.
She's also very tall. Her and Sarah Pesh are the same height, so that was why I keep mixing them up. They are both incredible players in their own right.
Okay, and it looks like we've got an O-line going out for Wild. D-line for Colorado.
And Wild was trying with that force middle to basically stop some deep looks, which did not happen. As well as, like I say, seal the edges. You're trying to push the players towards the middle of the field, making sure that there's not a lot of space available. But with Colorado's quick movement of the disc, Wild isn't able to make those quick defensive adjustments to actually make it a really effective force middle.
Well, and I think what's happening too is the force middle on Hamlet is working, right? Like all of their shots upfield work towards the middle.
Yeah.
But the downfield defenders are not taking away those unders in the middle.
And it is hard to make those adjustments downfield. Yeah,
yes,
you gotta
yes,
be really
yes.
quick.
But with every defense, you kind of need to know, what's the purpose? Where am I selling out? Because it's impossible to guard somebody all completely, right? Like,
Out with the race inside.
It's impossible to guard Amy Norris. She's got no one on her.
Yeah, exactly. Norris. And around to Kircher. Kircher up 2. Oh, and a bottle disc by
Just a
Harishnikova.
little bobble.
Kircher's going to pick up the switch.
Alpenglow disc.
And
Daniels
so this
sends it
will
to
be a break,
Dixon.
or this could be a break. But Dixon with the disc, back around to Daniels. Daniels up to Maxfield. Maxfield comes to the middle to 12 with Andrews. And Andrews with a beautiful round wow to Robin Fassett Carmen. And number 9, Dixon with the disc. Dixon back to Fassett Carmen. Colorado now, they can afford to score slowly.
Break to Daniels.
This is a great chance for them. And now these long points are really to their advantage. It looks like we have an injury call.
Injury
Number 9.
call.
Wow, Dixon is coming
Number
off.
9,
Looks like
Dixon
she's
is going off.
And Moulton is
She's
coming
okay.
off as well. Veldman
Kate
is
Moulton
coming
also
in.
subbing.
And Morgan
Looks like
Williams
Rory Feldman will be coming on, as well
is
as
coming
Morgan
on
Williams.
for Moulton.
So we'll see what happens. I know Wild really wants to get the disc back, but so far their defensive prowess for their offensive line has just not been there.
I feel like they're staying a little bit poachy. I feel like with transition D, you always kind of are looking around to see, who you need to go.
Wow.
Oh, and we've got a lucky drop for us. Percher with the disc, and we're not.
Oh no!
Not wasting any time, and we throw it away immediately. So now Veldman with the disc on the goal line. And it looks like a little bit of chaos right now. And, and another drop. We've got the yips now.
I mean, there was some good defensive pressure, but wow, it is yet again. Maxfield is one of those players who can really reel it in, and so I don't know.
Yeah.
We haven't seen her be that active this point or this game.
And just overthrown over Morgan. I feel like both teams are letting loose a little bit. Oh, and we've got a nice hook up to Veldman. Veldman reels it in.
I don't know if that somersault was intentional, but great celebration.
Yes, yeah. Keep it going.
Keep it going.
We want more celebrating.
And I was unsure of that outside in shot because I can feel the wind kind of pushing towards us right now. So going from the top of your screen down to the bottom of the screen. But it is still pretty inconsistent and clearly not making enough of an impact on those wide outside in throws. Because we've seen a few of those from the Wild and Alpenglow.
And that is a break.
That's a break. So there's a 7-point differential, and it looks like Wild is making the change to put their D-line out there for an offensive point.
And this line is a little bit of a no, it's all D-line players. It's not a combination of things that we've seen so far. We've got cheerleaders, we've got
looks like Finnegan, Lober, Williams again, Bunderson,
Ava Hayes, and then McCready. So we've got some really good throwers on this line. I bought to receive, which always, the D-line that comes on for the O-line, it always feels a little funny. It's definitely a mind shift. Looks to be a side step, or no, bird step.
Liz Bunderson to pick up.
It's in. Bunderson is picking it up, getting it to the middle quickly.
Centers to Carolyn.
Oh, and then Carolyn.
Wow.
Quickly up to Cherwink. And Cherwink with a huge hook to Williams. Can Williams reel it in? And she does. She's got sticky fingers, and it's a goal. Oh, there's nothing like the D-line coming out and just saying, we've got this.
And Cherwink, that was a beautifully weighted hook. That was incredible. Just an open side in motion backhand, just unleash. And I mean, Bassett Carmen is tall. She's 6 feet tall. And Morgan Williams got huge.
Yes, that was incredible.
All right. We got another cheer.
What a shot. What a shot.
Wow. And so the D-line for real is back out on D. It looks like we're still swapping some personnel out. But incredible. I know Wild, I know it's not ideal when you have to put your D-line out on offense, but it's gotta feel good.
Yes, absolutely. So now we've got the D-line back out. We've got our person who forgot her jersey. Loberg.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry we keep bringing it up, Carolyn. It's because I forgot to make the change on our written rosters.
Oh, we'll forgive you next time.
Don't forget your jerseys, folks. But it looks like right now, yeah, we have a big squirrely D-line. I want to talk about number 25, Audrey Selfridge. She is, I think, I'm going to say the youngest player on the Wild. I'm not 100% sure. She is on Team USA. She played in England this past summer, and I believe she is in Montana. It might have been an offsides or something. It couldn't. I'm assuming it's going to be offsides based on the fact that Alpenglow seems to be in a more advantageous position.
Yes.
Or it was probably a time. It was definitely a time violation. They were chit-chatting out there, and they only have 1 minute in the Western team.
We've got Shelky on the disc. It looks to be a similar zone. That's Selfridge right there on the mark, and she's a phenomenal. Yes, and McCready with the D, but it looks to be a foul call, or maybe a strip.
Yet again, when you're in those tight contact areas, it's hard to tell.
Waiting to see what the observer has to say if they're going to the observer.
It looks like foul, no contest. So Ito has the disc, and they have that 4-second freestyle.
Stay with Ito.
McCready with the disc.
And it looks like Wild did not adjust on defense.
They're able to get past the zone. Chucky on the mark. Oh, and
wow.
a drop by Thorpe.
Kawabata was about to get her 4th assist.
Yes. And we've got McCurk with the disc around to Lober. And over to Selfridge. Oh, Selfridge barely misses the layup.
I think she was uncertain if she needed to look out for it, which is why it bounced out of her hands.
And it looks to be a backhand force. Around, nice pressure from Nadat.
Wow.
Oh, just a miscommunication, and Colorado scores. That's a hold for them. Number 4, Ito with the score.
I think that's her second score.
I agree. Yep.
And yeah, Ito has been around for a while. She's just an incredible player. She has an incredible ultimate resume, but I can't remember everything off the top of my head. But she is just a cutter out there who is she's always able to find the open space. And she's just so respected and very fun to watch, even though it's just like very consistent work sometimes.
Well, it's always fun. I always feel like, at the beginning of the game, you definitely have people that are showing off right? And
Morgan Williams.
Yeah, Morgan Williams. Yes, exactly. And also, in the best way. I'm not saying this is a bad thing at all, but it's fun to see some of these experienced players that, the first 2 quarters maybe is a little bit quiet, and then the second 2 quarters, man, they just really go off. And it's that consistency, right? It's like the consistency in the beginning doesn't always show, but then as the game grinds on, that's when it really starts to show. Okay, we had Dixon with the pole down to McKean. McKean looks off, worried about the They had started in a vert stack, but they quickly split once again because Colorado was doing his own. Quickly split back to the H stack. Rishnikova with the disc. A huck up to number 2. That is Lizzie Cowan. And just a D over the top by number 6. That was incredible. Haley Pennies. Bands with the disc. Back to Dixon. And over to number 2, Mayhead. I think that's Livoy, sorry.
2 versus 3.
Yeah, 2 versus 3. And we've got Maxfield with the disc. Maxfield up to 33. That is Alex Daniels. A nice throw upfield to Livoy again. And McKean with the disc, but she's not able to sight it. She knows the disc is in the air, but doesn't take time to look up. And this is the team. Let's see who caught that.
That was Brock. So I believe that's Brock's second goal. You can look at that big throw by Hruzhnikova. Cowan was there, but he can't beat height. And then that is just such a really well-weighted throw by Colorado. McKean could have had a play on it if she had checked her shoulder or was able to sight the disc. But Colorado threw just enough over McKean's head that she didn't feel like she had a play. And that was a great read by Brock. She stayed engaged and was able to stay in the right position.
The team is currently able to accept payment via credit card.
Yeah, of course.
Overhead blading away.
You can't see it. It's so hard to find.
It's so hard to find. Sometimes you get lucky and you tip it with your hands,
Yeah, that's why she jumped, but I think if she'd been able to stay.
Graciously giving us their time to help make this event.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
We truly could not
Now
do
we
this
know.
without your support.
So
Thank
it
you,
looks
volunteers.
to be the Wild O-line again, and we've got Belgium with the pole.
Yeah, I'm interested to see
And the
the
disc
Wild
goes
hasn't made a
up.
ton of huge changes to their O-line
Alpenglow.
outside of that injury change.
Keen senders to Kat
And
Songer.
we've got Songer with the disc.
Who sends it back to Lindsay.
They've been putting Kircher as the 2 in the stack in their vert stack, but then she quickly drops back when there's some burrows going on.
I mean, if you want to stop a vert stack, the best way to do it is in a zone.
Yes, exactly. McKean with the disc again. Back to
Keen
Kircher.
to Kircher.
Kircher to
to
Moulton.
Kate.
The Panthers are really flowing through right now. We've got Songer. Just got past a layer of defense. If you can keep it moving,
Up to
that's
Amy
Norris
Morris.
with the disc.
Williams was kind of open, but it would have
Yes,
been
would have been a little bit tricky, exactly.
Nice grab by Kat Songer.
And Kircher with the disc again, getting into a first stack, and now they're in person. We've got Bigham with the
Kircher sends it
disc,
to Corey Bingham with a big pump fake.
and Moulton around to Kircher. Moulton again, and she gets it to Songer. Moulton just running across the field. That was incredible.
And Moulton has done a great job creating space. She creates a lot of width. So even though she's not necessarily getting a ton of yards when she's cutting, she's able to change the angle of the play.
Yes, yes.
And I love seeing her and Kircher work together. Because it seems like they're really starting to work.
Yeah, they've been incredible.
And Songer, just lovely.
All of it is too good.
And so it's good to see Wild back in their flow state, even though they are still down by 7. It's sick game. But being able to still see signs of life, the fact that they're still working out games. This is the first game of the season, and so I think it's fair to see these changes, as well as trying to spend time together as a team and with Lions. Because games are way different than practice, even as much as you're trying to break it.
Well, and I think Wild last year made it into championship weekend, but it was like their record was not one that could have made it, but then because they beat Colorado, they got 1-1 with Colorado, and then because maybe San Diego lost again, that then made it so Wild made it. But then the cool part is that then Wild made it to the championship game, right? And so, oh, nice D by Finnegan. She knew it was coming all along.
We were too busy yapping, but that was a great D by Finnegan. Just incredibly heads up.
Centers to Liz Bunderson.
Bunderson up to Knutson. Knutson around to Hayes. Hayes over to Bunderson. Bunderson with a huge flick. Looking for Cherwin. Cherwin has hops. Let's see what happens. Oh, and Kawabata with the incredible D.
Let's see if that looks like
no call.
Mutual decision there. That's sports, baby.
They're both good at stuff.
They're both good at frisbee.
Yep.
Both trying to shoot for the same area. There's something happening.
Maybe a timeout was called.
Oh, maybe a timeout was called.
Did he save a possession?
It would have been honestly terrible if Cherwin had made it, but if Wild had called the timeout when Bunderson had the disc, incredible save. Or yeah, that was a timeout
by Wild.
Yep. Colorado can't hold it while they're on. Wow.
Guthrie saw Liz get that look in her eyes and was like, nope, we're just going to call the timeout now.
Bunderson is an incredible thrower, and I would say anytime they see someone going deep, they will throw.
Yes, and my guess is that as soon as that disc went in the air and you can tell it's going to be a 50-50, that's when you call the timeout, right?
I think you still have to call it while we have possession. But it possession game. No, I don't know. Gamer's got a game.
Yeah, Gamer's got a game. Exactly. Okay, so it looks like the O-line is going to be back out. We've got talking. It looks like a kind of traditional D-line from Colorado. We can get this break.
Makes the gap smaller. Yeah, so we have Veldman pulled over. I think Veldman goes on when she wants and when Colorado is
just play all the points
you do whatever you need to. And it looks like we have Lavoie back out, Bannis, who's got a few Ds. And then, Utah setting up an avert, and it looks like Colorado is in person with a poach out on that with the side lane, or break side lane.
We've got
being marked by Alex Daniels.
Some sort of play. Hopefully, Kircher's supposed to get it and huck it to somebody. Oh, and Abby Davis. She's so good. So Abby with the disc, and that's back to Kircher. Kircher's
beautiful.
Up to Morris.
To Amy Morris, who swings it back to
Davis
Abby Davis in the middle.
Got all the handlers down.
Oh, wow.
There we go. That was a great D by number 12. Number 6, Bannis with the disc. A little high release up to Maxfield. And Maxfield up to number 2, Bristol Livermore.
And that is a hold for Alpenglow, despite the fact that that is a D-line out there. But that was some really good defense by Colorado. When you look at them, when Wild set up their stack, they noticed that Kircher was in the back, and that is always going to be the first look for the Wild. And so this, even though you aren't seeing this on the screen, I can see it in my brain. When Kircher cut under number 15 on Alpenglow, pulled out so Veldman could stay back and stay in that deep space, as well as cut off that option for Kircher.
And I love that Davis recognized that event immediately, right, and slotted over to then get the disc, but
so that was some great defense and then some great outlets from the Wild, even though they did not have the traditional Panther back helping song.
Okay, we've got a big pole coming. Nice big pole. Looks like we're picking up the disc. Oh, and it is gripped. So Sanger will pick up the disc. After a quick call, coming out in an inch down at the beginning. We've got Davis and Cowan and Williams and Grishnikova.
And if we're looking at the zone, it looks like it's right now 4-2-1. And so they're trying to kind of seal those edges still. They're trying to prevent any deep looks.
Page to pass.
So it looks like we have Williams over to Kircher.
And McKean with the disc. Nice little zone again. Kircher up.
Up to Kira.
Could you imagine if Corey didn't live in Idaho?
Back to Sommer, and it's now person defense from Colorado. Over to Davis.
Davis catches it. Sends it back up
to Kircher again.
to Kat Sommer. Nice around to Quincy McKean. Through traffic to Paige Kircher. Up to Kira Harishnikova. On the red zone.
Nice around up to Zach. Glad she looked off.
And if you look, Wild is taking 2 seconds to look downfield, and then except for this point. But
Like he said, no! She gets it. She reels it in. Williams with the catch. We knew there'd be a scooter eventually.
We knew there's no wind. Paige Kircher in a high stall. A scuba hates to see her coming.
Yes.
Incredible. Wow.
Williams is able, Williams bobbles it under pressure from the defense, but then is able to reel it back in before she's out of bounds. That's what was incredible.
Incredible grab by Williams. Wow.
No, I keep looking at the score.
It's close.
Closer. Yeah. And then still a hold.
Don't look at the scoreboard, folks. We still have a good game.
I see some pretty faces in the crowd.
Yeah, that was an incredible crowd.
I see Jared Scheinberg.
I was talking, saying Wild is doing a great job looking downfield once again, looking for their reset. But as I was saying that, Kircher, I had that look in her eye. I was like, she's going to prove me wrong.
I'm going to take matters
She
in my
hears
own
me.
hands. Bunderson with a massive pull up to Hecht, over to Nelson. Nelson to the Lord. And doing a zone, stopping, kind of, we don't want anything up the middle of this zone. So let's see. It's going to paint the edges right now.
Chunky on Mark.
Veldman's coming in. And
Wow. Just a beautiful inside zone breaker. And Colorado is off to the races.
Who finds each
beautiful
Unless
out of
I was
bounds. Out of bounds. Number 4, Ito tries to run it out for a little more yards and runs it right.
She's having too much fun.
Bunderson picks up for the Utah Wild. Marked by Sarah Levin.
And there's less than 30 seconds left on the clock, so hopefully Wild is keeping an eye on time because they really want to make sure that.
Pick ball.
Maybe there's I would say a timeout called based on the fact that Eugene's on the field. Wow. So otherwise, I don't know what he's doing out there.
Yeah, exactly.
But it looks like there was another timeout called. So Wild has also used both of their timeouts this quarter, which bold. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get back in the game.
Yeah, exactly. And like we said, I mean, I guess we didn't know what was going to happen this one, but it's saving in possession. And
for what it's worth, it also looks like the Wild is keeping their D-line out there. The way that Gene's talking, and the way that no one else is really. So Wild is keeping their D-line out on this offensive possession.
And it looks like Veldman is staying out for Colorado, but it looks like the rest is their D-line. Wow. Let's find out what happens.
I'm excited. I think there are going to be some big plays.
I'm predicting some turns.
With 20 seconds left?
Oh, man. So there's only so much time for turns. Maybe there won't be any turns.
Everyone put your predictions in the chat. I can't read the chat, but put them in.
Yeah, we'll go back.
Cartwheels happening over down by the field.
All right.
Lining up in a brick stack.
Oh.
Bunderson with the disc again. We've got Eva Hayes, who is so
Liz with the disc.
Did you see that? And
Sends
Kenzie
to
with the great
Benny
pickup.
Kenzie
Nice job,
Finnegan, who
Finnegan.
saves it.
Finnegan over to Shelky. Shelky up to.
Wow. And there's 8 seconds left on the clock.
And the Dak over to Bunderson.
Big
flies. And she's going to huck it to Hayes.
Time is out, so this will be the last possession. Hayes gets it! Yes! Way to go! That is a break. Utah Wild gets a break.
Yes, it was a break. Oh, my goodness. We did it.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it should count for more than 1 point.
The way
more than one defender.
My heart is racing.
That was incredible. Like I said, Hayes is fast.
Hayes is
Very
fast.
fast.
She is a player to watch. She's also young and squirrely and really ready to put in the work.
Playing on a small field with her showers, so a lot of big fields.
All right,
Stop moving.
we are about to start our fourth quarter of play. It is Colorado 17, Utah 11. We will see you after this quick break. Planning your club ultimate season? Come to Ski Town, August 16th and 17th in Salt Lake City. There will be a women's, mixed, and open divisions. We are now accepting bids. Scan the QR code on the screen for the bid form or email skitownclassic@gmail.com for more information.
Kiddos down here dancing around. We see June with Abby Davis on the field. Go June, bug. Go June, bug. Go June. Go June. What about Miles? Miles over here. Go Miles. Go Miles. Go Miles. Go Miles. Go Maggie. Go Miles. Hey, what about Finley? I think I saw Finley McKee in the stands.
Utah Wild 2025. Who are the three? You can find us celebrating every Utah Wild game this year at our location. Their huge projector screen, great food menu, and award-winning beer makes the building a great home.
All right, to start the fourth quarter, we've got Robin Fassett-Carmen with WUL, starting on D, Colorado Alpenglow.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the final quarter of Utah Wild versus Colorado Alpenglow. This is the first game of the season. It's a rematch of championship weekend, and unfortunately the scoreboard is also looking similar to championship weekend for the Utah Wild.
That's okay though. These are good things to practice. And we've got a nice set play going up to Bigham. Bigham with a nice big under to Norris. And Norris over to Moulton. I love the way Moulton calls for the disc with
Idaho combo, baby. Or dice whatever.
We've got Sawyer with the disc, getting into a vert stack now. It's resets. Oh, a little Scooby. Well, I can too. And McKean's first goal of her pro season. There she is. That was such a nice flow. Wow. When they're on, they're on.
When they're on, they're on. And I think, yeah, that was just some really easy offense.
Well, so it's interesting watching Colorado goes person.
Alpenglow 17.
And so it's fascinating to watch how Wild is having a difficult time adjusting to that sort of shifting mentality. But when their only job is to run way faster, they do a really nice job at it.
Yeah, and I mean, they were doing it. It's so hard to adjust, especially when things are swapping from zone to person. This weather isn't not like, oh, it's not clear zone weather. It's not super windy. Yeah. And so trying to prepare to be like, okay, great, we're going to start in the first second, we're going to come in zone, we're going to come in zone, we're going to do this. It's a hard shift, which is why they do it.
Yes, exactly. So we've got Bunderson with the pole. We've got Hecht with it. Out to Nelson. Looks to be maybe some. Oh,
Ari sends it up to
Sweet cut.
And up to 14. That is just getting to Nelson.
Terry with that aggressive handler deep.
Nelson over to number 4, Ito. Like I said, Ito up to
Stall called. Interesting. Looks like I think Observer overruled it immediately.
Disc is going to stay with Jade.
Fast count. Back to
wow, spicy inside.
Up to Sarah Levin.
OB.
to 11. So
Yeah, yet again, the Sarahs. I'm so sorry to both of them.
Oh, and it was out of bounds.
Yeah, so her first step was out of bounds. Too much sauce.
Too much sauce. So we've got Logan in New Jersey.
I'm so sorry to all of our Montana friends. I really love Carolyn, and I'm so happy she's here. Carolyn, oh yeah, go ahead.
Finnegan with the disc, back around to Loberg. And Cherwink with the disc. Is it going to be a monster hit? Back to Loberg. Loberg kicks off Bunderson.
Oh, easy
straight
pick
to
it.
Kawabata.
Oh, it looks like Wild's having a hard time getting back on the team.
And McCready. Oh my goodness. Thorpe with an incredible catch. And back to Ito, and then back to the give-go action up to Thorpe.
The back heel spike, like a spur spike.
Which was incredible. That was, I love a catch.
Incredible.
Lady, far away. That is incredible.
Yeah,
Let's see it
incredible
again.
edge.
Let's see it again.
You see Cherwing with just Kawabata stepping out into the lane. And in that blade.
Catching it last second. That was incredible. Easy
score for Wells.
We can celebrate that. One clap. I'm sorry that we are not biased. I'm sorry that we are so biased.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been such a good game, as well as like, since the score is so wide, I think while we can talk about the pros and cons of what each team is doing, yes, obviously, I'm a little bit more familiar with Colorado State since we're local.
And there goes
Launches it to space.
really floaty pole. Just awesome. Gives Colorado
And it
time
comes
to
back
get
to
down there.
Earth,
And the mark's already
collected
set.
by Kat Songer.
Songer with the disc straight to an H stack. Around to
Swings to Kate Moulton.
Bolton over to Kircher. Kircher looks off that around. Back to Bolton. Bolton to Songer. Songer up. Nice. Up to Kircher. That looks to be it.
Who shoots to Kircher.
Kircher with it. Kircher up to Abby Davis, and Abby Davis gets the
Wow,
goal.
hops right
Jumps
in.
She's got tricky feet. Clean hold. That's multiple clean holds.
13. That's a free Kircher. Abby Davis throw.
I don't have the stats in front of me. Speculating. That's what I say. And I mean, I think, yeah, the Colorado offense is still moving pretty efficiently, but I mean, the Wild D-line is making it hard for them. And I feel like with the Colorado D-line, they are making it hard, but sometimes I feel like the Wild is defeating themselves.
Yes, yeah, it's true. I
All right, it's 13-18. I still think there's a chance.
yeah, I will never lose hope.
I believe.
I've been in this booth when we've done it.
Yes, there have been too many games where the Wild has taken years off my life. But we'll see if Colorado can keep holding and can really make sure that they can seal this game away.
Yeah, that's true. So one of the things that needs to start happening now is if Wild is going to make a comeback, it has to happen quickly, right? And so playing a zone makes the points last longer.
That's a Utah Wild D-line.
We're not quite to the point where we need to just go straight personnel, either get a D quick or get scored on quick. Oh, looks to be like there might be a timeout. This time in the opposite direction.
Carolyn Lober was smiling on the rundown, which I think is a better sign than last time. This is, I think, the first game that I've ever commentated where we've had these time violations, especially on offense and defense, you know. And yet again, it's adjusting to the new season. In USAU, especially if you don't have an observer, you can kind of dilly-dally as much as you want.
Yeah, that's true. So this is Callahan territory. Really need to be locked in now. Shelky, we've got Heck with the disc. Back to Nelson.
Ito's in that spicy inside lane.
Oh, and
Atari gets it
finds
through
that
to Ito,
perfect
who sends it
space
to
with
Reno.
that Kawabata with the disc. Just like that, out of Callahan territory. Thorpe with the disc. And just a little too far for Nelson. A gift. This is a break chance. We've got Logan with the disc. I'm not going to mention it.
If it helps, her normal number is 18, which is the reverse of what she's currently wearing.
Audrey Selfridge.
Oh, and Selfridge with the put, but
and it's
to a
by Sarah
defender.
Ito.
Ito picks up the disc and throws it down just a little. Held onto the disc a little too long.
Injury
That's a
called,
Utah
I'm
turn.
assuming, or someone's calling injury on their
Got
behalf.
injury call.
It looks to be Hecht.
She's faking.
I think
May
it's
Hecht
sometimes
with
you
an
just hit the
injury.
ground weird. Hopefully she's all right, and we can see her later on in the game and just needs a break. But Colorado is sending on
Rory
Alpenglow,
Veldman
which is,
on.
or not. Alpenglow is sending on Veldman. I associate Veldman with Alpenglow. So yeah, and it looks like Veldman will be matched up on Shelby.
Okay, we've got Loberg picking up the disc. That seems to be exact spacing.
Safety last. Safety
We've
all
got
of these. Yeah, because that's like.
third back with Loberg. My guess is that we're going to get the first half as quickly as possible.
Blueberry?
But this is still another great chance.
Yes.
Oh, I went during the warehouse. Dude,
Got
if
a
you
chance
want,
to get it with
I'll go. They do a warehouse.
Well, it looks like everyone is
All
going
right, let's
back
hear it for
to
your Utah Wild.
the injury either happened. I'm uncertain if she called as she was on the ground, but
Wild
yeah,
coming
moving
out.
back further, which is I
And the
think what Nelson
turnover.
is trying
They're
to
going to get the
convey.
disc.
Is there still, we get the 4-second pre-stall, so 4 second pre-stall?
Yes, but I mean it just
Wild
means that
disc,
they can't
Carolyn
pre-stall
Loberg
the disc
pick up.
immediately.
Over to Clerk.
Disc.
Oh.
And straight into
Jane McLaughlin gets his hands on that.
McLaughlin with the big, sorry, Nelson with the big hug to McLaughlin. Oh,
And that's
keeps
in,
in
yes.
Nice footwork. And McLaughlin with the disc swing it nice and far back to Thorpe. Thorpe with a huge around.
11.
11 into the ground.
Oh, no, oh, no.
Calf cramp.
Injury.
I hope that's what it is.
But it looks like another injury. I'm assuming.
Yes, I assume as well.
And I mean,
Please be something not super bad.
let's look at something else. But yeah, I mean, Levin has had such an incredible game and is such a good player. She's really tall. She's been just such a consistent cutter for the Alpenglow, and it's just someone that we want to see back on the field. So hopefully we'll see her for the rest of the season.
Putting Maxfield on for Levin, and then
Maxfield
Bunderson on for somebody from Wild. I'm not sure who came off.
It's going to be Wild disc.
Wild disc. It looks like
turn stands because there was no, I was in non-contact injury, or at least not contact.
Plays to pick up.
Bunderson is picking up the disc. McClurk back with
Bunderson really wants to shoot it, but instead is able to get good inside. Great grab by Ludak.
Utah Wild.
Way to go, Ludak. And McClurk with the disc again. Oh, and I think our stack is too deep.
And the cuts are very narrow right
Nelson with the disc. Looking for Kawabata. And looking for the hug to Veldman. High style, always a good idea.
Wow.
Incredible.
Oh, another call. Uncertain what the call is, but that was a great celebration by Veldman and Thorpe. The disc is going to. Oh, timeout was called, so it still goes. It's still Alpenglow disc,
But back at the 50-yard
it was a high stall call for possession. Which I mean, yet again, is such a it's a good call to make. With receivers like Veldman and Thorpe out there, and throwers like Nelson, I feel like they haven't needed to use a lot of offensive timeouts, but possession is an important game, and with 7 minutes left on the clock, Colorado really wants to make sure Utah can't claw back.
So it looks like D-line is staying out. Subbing out a couple of players, just that was a little bit of a long point. So getting some fresh legs out there. And then it looks like Colorado is subbing quite a few players.
I'm sure with 2 injuries called back-to-back during this long possession, they want to just prioritize safety. And I mean, these are still O-line players for the most part. I mean, I think Brock has played some D-line as well as Sass and Carmen, but they're both like really, really consistent players.
Nelson will pick up the disc. Got Thorpe on the front of the stack.
Ari Nelson to bring it in play for Colorado Alpenglow.
Looks like a little bit of an offset. Straight to Thorpe.
Beautiful high release.
Hug play. Push with the disc. Back to Thorpe. Thorpe up to number 10. That's Trey over to Thornton, brings it in.
Who sends it
Up
to
to
Ryan?
number 7, Facet Carmen. Facet Carmen gets it in for Nelson.
So Colorado was still able to maintain the score and cut like 2 minutes off, or a minute, just over a minute off the clock. So you can see Facet Carmen just with an easy dish to Nelson. Nelson had to step on Shelby.
Yes, it's true. Which I feel is that
Ari
Nelson's first
Nelson
point. I
was
feel
your
like she has
offensive player of the
touched
year
the disc
for
the
the WUL
entire
last
time,
year.
but haven't been getting
Comes in with the
Yeah, I'm
sword.
uncertain what their stats look like, but I mean, I looked at their stats from last season, and during the regular season, I think they had 23 assists. They had, I think they also had like 1 or 2 goals. Like there was such a strong disparity.
Yes, exactly.
Oops, all assists. Yeah, Nelson is just such a quarterback. They're an incredible asset to Alpenglow.
Okay, Belgium with the pull again. More traditional over coming out from WUL.
It looks, Ava Hayes was pulled over. I think, no, sorry, that's 22. That's Hruzhnikova. They both have little pigtails.
Yes, the
Disc
short
is
disc.
up.
Yeah, sorry,
pull
Ava
by
and
Belden.
Hruzhnikova. I swear they'll.
Disc is caught by Paige Kircher, who centers to Kat Songer.
Songer still doesn't have
Flip
enough.
to Kayak, who sends it to
Williams is running deep for Davis. She's giving it nice little directional hug. And Davis to Williams. It was too perfect. Oh.
And that's Williams' 3rd goal?
I think so.
Oh.
And we had the scooter catch over here. This one.
Abby Davis.
Yes, yeah.
So Williams is just such a consistent
Those
receiver.
flag bearers running down the field. Let's hear it.
And that was a great turn the page break mark from Davis. Davis could have hit probably a much tighter outside in flick, but instead is able to make the fake to have her defender jump and then hits the backhand, which gave Williams more space to run onto.
Well, and I love too that the rest of the wild.
Hey, the flag bearers are doing cartwheels over there
so she
too,
still
so
she could still
they're putting on a whole show for us.
So many people.
Yeah, there were 5 other people trying to get to that same spot.
That was great to let the play out.
All right.
Okay, we've got
Liz
Anderson
Anderson
pulling down
to the Colorado Alpenglow.
Yeah, Zach.
Looks to be a little bit of a, they like this kind of pseudo
Sarah
side
Pesh
step.
centers to Holly Nelson.
And some isolation cuts, which it's hurt.
Wow.
Big
Knutson just so close.
And
but
Nelson with the
secured
disc
by
again.
McLaughlin.
Nelson up to Thorpe. Oh, Bunderson hoping for the coach to they're a little bit late.
And pulls back in time
Yes.
to make a safe decisions.
Let's see, Nelson back to Thorpe.
To Ito.
Williams doesn't get the layout D. I've never seen that happen. Thorpe back to Ito. Ito over to Nelson.
Ava Hayes on it.
Nelson running away. Oh no! And it's just a little bit overthrown up to Ito. Maybe a chance for a layout, but it's always hard. You know, you always wonder, do I lay out now or can I turn around and still
Exactly.
get
That's
it
just
done?
such a quick inside with just a little too much juice.
Bunderson with a big hug.
Talking about juice.
Oh no! Oh, looks like we've got another cramp.
But Sarah
Yeah,
Pesh
that
gets
one
a
actually looks like
piece of
half
it.
cramp, hopefully.
And also
Pesh
looks
gets a
like
cramp.
she's
But
going to take an
she got
injury.
the D.
She did get the D. Going off in style. Let's see who's coming on.
Yeah, Zach. Gravity must be heavier here.
I think Grace Brown. Grace D1.
Yep, Grace.
Grace Brown to come
Who's
on
also a new
for
player
Sarah
this
Pesh.
year. For Alpenglow.
Turn around, Zach.
To 7.
I'm inadorable.
Got Hayes on the mark. Nelson
Sorry to that.
Nelson with a really nice around.
11 up to Marino.
Nelson back. Nelson with a nice
Jade.
Oh, goodness, beautiful.
Beautiful blade.
Up to 14, Jade McLaughlin. I love the shape on that. Just, once again, that's so hard for the defender to guard.
Utah Wild
In such a
14.
good spot, such Nelson.
So much
Hey,
space.
we're just under.
And McLaughlin had, I think, a quieter season last year. I think she missed some games. But she, in 2023, was, I think, MVP or MVP nominee. Like, even though she had a quieter season, she still really made her mark. And I'm happy to see her back in full power going for the Wild.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I love watching Blood Ultimate, and I think Jade McLaughlin is the definition.
So we've got Valkyrie at the disc.
Yeah, I would say no huge strategic changes from either team. Seems like they're both still alternating between cursing and zone, or like just trying to clog up the lanes.
Catching the disc, getting it over to and it's just a little too far. Oh, Norris tries to save it. She's so close. I think Norris wasn't sure if Sonya was going to lay out, so she
sends it to Grace Brown.
A nice switch pickup from the king. And all the way up to number 8, that is Shannon. 7 with the disc. Oh, nice little strike up there.
And that's a score. That's Robin
Yeah, and I mean,
to Danny
that
Tran.
with Wild, I think they were trying to just be overly cautious, but you get to see Bassett
21.
Carmen with a nice, there's just a nice
Utah
look
Wild
on victory.
14. Both scores divisible by 7.
So we have about 4 minutes, 23 seconds left, and it is a 7-point game still. I think Wild still wants to see those breaks, see those offensive highs and lows. Well, Colorado just needs to keep on keeping on.
It's true. One thing I love about the WUL is that point difference does matter. And so Wild really, like, neither team can let up. Yeah. So it's like, well, this seems to be a back for Colorado, but that can come back and bite them. And so you've got to, you want to win your games and win them big, because sometimes it does come down to point diff when there's ties, and it's a chance to weaken. So I love that it makes every point important. So Belgium with the goal.
Let's see it.
Down to Songer. Songer's going to get it up to Kircher.
Cat centers to Page.
We're in an H stack. And a zone again. Nice around for Bolton. Bolton has really put her stamp on this game. I'm so excited to watch. And the touches she's got very few turns.
Wow, you're killing it.
You see a lot of Wild players going into the same spaces. It's a physically tiring game, but also it's mentally tiring to try and play the zone. Yes, it is.
Up to Kircher.
Gravel!
Kircher was hoping for a hot look from him. They were locked in. Deep space was locked in.
Oh, I haven't.
Bolton with the disc again. They've been pushed back a little bit from behind the shoulder. Catching the pull and then sending pass. This is great defense by really doing exactly as his own should, right?
Yeah, force a lot of throws, burn up a lot of time.
I feel like these are the moments when you have to start thinking, okay, I need to keep throws, which often is exactly what King's needs from. So,
Yeah, there's still no win, but there haven't been any easy looks.
just got it to the gutters for the first time.
Chiseling up through the cut is Cat Songer.
Oh, and
It looks like, I think a double team was called. Daniels was really, really close, as well as Andrews was on the mark. And so I think Songer was trying to say, hey, you can step back before you
Hey,
shoot.
dinner and we have a babysitter, so we're getting time to ourselves. Well, we'll see you tomorrow, Scotty Babes. See you at the game. Nice to meet you. Hopefully we'll see you guys more often now that Vegas is a little closer to Colorado.
Discussion.
Hey,
Maybe that's what they're saying down there, yeah.
Disc currently with Cat Songer.
And I don't think there are any huge
Looks like it's a
violations.
Yeah.
I think we get that force like review sucks. I believe there was a stoppage in play. But Wild didn't take advantage of that.
Bolton straight into the bobble dish. And looks to be person Bolton just kind of person again, not quite in. Roy with the disc and being cautious, which is great. Dixon back to Leroy.
Oh! I don't know. She's. I don't know, man.
Oh no, I don't know.
That's the issue. I mean,
come
I
on,
don't know,
Russ,
that's-
make a call!
it depends on on how quickly you think you're celebrating.
Exactly. Well, and when she was unsure as to whether she caught it, that makes me wonder if she dropped it. Looks like the observers are going to chat and see.
Yeah, there also could have been conflicting calls.
Can we get a replay on that?
I think they might be fixing the clock real quick, but if we could, if we ever have a chance for a replay for the folks at home to make their own determination. They're working on it, but just like the observers are working on it, it's gonna take a second.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all human.
And the observers call goal.
They say
Sounds
goal.
like that was
Wow.
a score.
The fans are not
The
excited about
fans
it.
hate it, but it's Colorado has scored 22 points at 2:22.
Take a picture. Screenshot it.
Make a wish.
Make a wish. Everybody, all the fans at home, make a wish.
All right, let's take a look.
Utah.
Oh, I don't know, man. I would say.
Utah.
Oh,
Yeah, I can see why she was not sure if
Yeah.
she caught it or not.
Yeah, wow.
We just wonder if the observers go back and rewatch plays to be like, that's not the right call, but maybe it doesn't haunt them like it haunts me.
They don't have to go to championship week, or they go to championship weekend either way.
Yeah, either way,
So-
exactly. They're paid to be here.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a lot of really tight calls for ins and outs and ups and downs, and it's tough. And even when we're self-refereeing in like club, it is still really difficult. Also, because there's that inherent bias saying like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't see hops.
Exactly. We've got Facet Carmen with the pole. D-line coming. Oh, just kidding. Never mind. Feldman, you do.
Oh, let's see if there's another time violation.
Feldman with the pole.
Lori Feldman with the pole.
I'm so impressed that we did this
Sonya
back
does
up.
front stop. A little bit of a zone against it.
Swings to Paige Kircher.
Wild is just having a hard time finding movement within the disc, but McKean was able to swing back and create that space for Davis.
Well, and kudos to Colorado. I feel like they are so good at cutting off the downfield lanes super quickly, right? And so you can kind of see these little openings like, okay, I can throw that shot, but then
Swings it around to Abby
you
Davis
have a
again.
defender that's flying in, and so it makes you hesitate.
Swings it back to Quincy.
And we had a few turns just based on the fact that they're coaching in the lane.
Yes, exactly. So we actually second guess things. And Hirschnikova with the disc, holding on to it. Oh, Paige is looking for that scooter. But Hirschnikova with the disc. Back to Kircher, over to Summer. Up to McKean. McKean has done so well.
Quincy keeps it up.
And looks off the around, over to Williams. Williams over to Kircher, nice break throw, over, and oh, step out by Songer, over to Abby Davis, she keeps it inbound.
And Wild was really patient with that possession.
Yes.
They had a few shots that they could have forced, but Songer was able to wait, and then Davis timed her cut well and then got that step on the counter to make it.
Well, and here they got to so Abby
Davis connection is hot.
That's breakout player of the year last year, and she
Almost as hot as Abby Davis's
or
tweets.
something. Like, it was just incredible. But then, today I'm like, oh, she's been a little bit quiet. Also, I think that was her third. So, yeah, she's been quiet. Also, she has scored 20% of her goals. So, she's doing just fine.
We are in our final minute of play. So it's been, I would say, still a really exciting game despite the scoreline. I think both teams have played incredibly well, and we've had some big goals, big Ds, and it's been really, really fun to watch. And more importantly, it hasn't been hated.
Let's hear it, fans.
Yes. More than
Let's hear it for
anything.
the D-line.
What is it like to play
Big
frisbee?
pull by Liz Gunderson.
I think only the California teams know.
Centers to Ari
Nelson with the
Nelson.
disc. Over
They throw to Rita Kawabata.
Kawabata.
Yes!
Oh, a D over and Shelky. No, Bunderson lays out for the D.
Gets a piece of
injury.
that.
Oh,
Also takes
tap
an
now.
injury.
We're getting to that point where
It's the season. And I mean, I think the disc probably would have turned, but Bunderson coming out with that huge D to just say, no way, no one is getting this.
I've been waiting for her to get a layout D because she's got some incredible layouts. Also, I love that.
Sarah Levin takes an injury.
Play of that. Just
Subbed off for Rory
I love
Feldman.
that she gets the stuff.
I know.
So, I mean, I'd do
Hey,
it just for that.
everybody at home, check out the Western Ultimate League Stats Hub. We have the best in
Looks
the game.
like we've
of
got
Frisbee.
Carolyn Lober.
And shout out to our
subbing
stats
on
teams and our stats takers. We love them so
for Liz
much.
Henderson.
It's a hard job.
It's hard, and they do it so fast, and they do it so well. And players, if you're rewatching it and you don't think you got your stat got counted, let us know.
Carolyn makes up.
We have Lober with the disc now.
Breaks the mark to Kenzie Finnegan.
Finnegan, oh, with the huck, but I think it's tipped. And Sherwick! Does she pull it down? Oh, no! Oh,
And
dang
that
it.
is down.
Oh,
but
the second
valiant
attempt, I
effort
thought she
by
for
Justin
sure
I
Sherwick.
know.
She might have had it, but she might have dropped it on contact with the ground, which happens. Finnegan.
Audrey Selfridge with some awesome handler
Up
defense.
to Veldman.
Maybe another.
Oh,
If there was another
timeout
timeout, they only get 2 per
called
half. And I believe they've already had theirs. Maybe I'm.
We called
Utah's
both
out.
of ours,
Oh, okay, yeah. They called both of theirs during the first half.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting mixed up. So sorry, so sorry. But Colorado with the timeout there is 9 seconds left. Colorado just wants to run the clock. They want to make sure. Feels good to end. It feels best to end on a score rather than a turn. And unfortunately, I do not think the Wild can
Just a
score
reminder, following
7
the
points.
game, folks are going to head over to
Okay,
the
so
Wilder
if you're
Brewing
Wild,
for our after party. You can mingle with players and fans alike over a full menu of food and
At
beverages.
least 1 second left.
Just a reminder, this location is 21 plus, so don't forget your IDs, folks.
Do you do a zone or do you do just person and just dare them to throw
I was
a
telling her, I'm like, he's waiting.
Well,
But before
No,
the
with
brewery,
Nelson to
we're going to
Velson,
bring
the
all
time
the
doesn't
energy
run
we
out.
can
Well,
for
if
the
it has
last
enough
10
flow time,
seconds
then
of this game.
it will.
Then it could
Yeah, except if
Fans,
it
get
goes
on
out
your
in the
feet.
air, that is still, I
Get on
believe,
your
part of the
feet.
Okay.
Let's bring the energy.
Getting, I might be
10 more
wrong. I'm
seconds,
not a
stay
rules person,
warm.
but I love to speculate.
Cheer for the Wild
Okay.
D-line.
We've got person
Ari
defense.
Nelson picks up the disc with Kenzie
Giving them
Finnegan on the mark.
unders. We've got one kind of fail
Let's hear it, fans.
to take away deeps and swing. It's a thing. Colorado doesn't need to rush it.
They can,
Disc
they can
between
swing
us.
it for as long as they want, and that is time. So Colorado wins the game, but it's whether it is by 22 or 23 is dictated by the Colorado offense as well as this Utah D
Ari up
line.
to Rory.
Jay loves you. That's what goes on for the sensitivity.
Who sends it to
Oh,
Rita.
wow.
It'll be 22 to 15 for the game.
Wow.
Colorado wins
End
by
of the
7
third
points,
quarter.
which we think it was 8 in the championship games
Yes.
in the offseason. We've at least improved
That's
one.
Both teams scored more too. This is an incredibly high-scoring game, which I love to see. I love to see those
22
powerhouses
Colorado
work.
Alpenglow.
But Alpenglow
We will see
really
that here
just
on April
smashes
5th at
Utah
4
Wild.
p.m.
I mean, it felt like a
Your
much
Utah
closer
Wild
game.
play the San
at
Diego
least in my
Super
mind.
Blue.
But Colorado played
Thank y'all
incredibly.
so
They were
much
able to have
for
such strong
cheering on
defense
the
as well
Utah
as
Wild.
very defensive looks. And they still had their stalwarts of, I would say, like the power three of
Thanks, everybody.
Veldman, Thorpe, and Nelson. They all had incredible games.
I'm a big
And then
fan
you
of
got to
the
see
camera,
new
man.
players on Alpenglow like
Hey, did you
Colorado.
get any further
She really
communication
stepped
from
up
those
and was
Vegas
that
people?
first outlet look if Nelson couldn't get
Is that all they told you?
That was incredible. He tore the block, but also just movers and keep moving. I want to shout out some of our new players.
But it's like
Wild.
coming
Yeah, I was
from
gonna
people
say.
who don't
Williams
have-
with
I know,
3
dude.
Ds
That's
in
so
her first
crazy.
game. I mean, that's incredible.
Incredible.
Kate Moulton just jumping in from being a practice player in previous seasons, and also being rostered in a couple of games over the last season or two, but then just like to do so well in all of those zones, to get so many touches. She did incredible.
Stepping into that Wild O-line is intimidating
Yes,
because
yes.
like Kircher, Williams, Bigham, Hruzhnikova have been there for years.
Yes, yes.
And Moulton was able to step up and immediately make that impact.
Yeah, that was incredible. We've got the play of the game.
We have our Discraft play of the game. So you see Nelson just boost the disc And then Veldman, under just such tight pressure from Bunderson, is able to make the grab. That was such an incredibly smart play, and she was able to maintain her space under that pressure from Bunderson, as well as incredible throw from Nelson.
Yes.
It was just over that end zone line. They were able to just hit Veldman, and it just incredible discraft play of the game.
Yes, that was incredible. Thank you for joining us. We've got an interview down on the field.
I think it might take a second, so we're just going to keep chatting about the game. But yeah, I think this is not I don't think this is a condemnation of the Wild season.
Yes,
I
I
think
agree.
Wild still has so many chances, and we play again in the next few weeks. I don't have the schedule memorized, unfortunately, but I think this is also just an incredible start for Alpenglow. Alpenglow really wants to come back and definitely go back to back for championships, be the first ones ever.
I was going to say, no
Or no,
WUL team has done back to back.
No, I think
San Diego.
Did Seattle do it?
Oh, did Seattle do it? I think Seattle did.
I think Seattle did. So they want to be tied with Seattle and get that back to back.
And then next year, be ahead of Seattle.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
But I think an incredible game from both teams. And I think we got some really nice highlight level plays.
Yeah. Refresh my memory. So with the season, there's kind of two regions that are playing each other, some crossover games,
So
or how are they doing it this season?
Since we have 7 teams as the Western Ultimate League, there are no conferences. And we are having some teams play other teams twice, while some teams only play each other once or not at all.
Okay. So will we play every team?
No.
Okay.
Not this season. We're going to play some teams twice just so we have better travel costs, as well as, it's fun to have multiple matchups.
Yes,
it's hard for us to say, like, oh, Wild, you lost to Colorado once. That sucks for your season.
Yeah.
Wild will have a chance to punch back. So
that's incredible. And then when championship weekend comes, how exactly does that work? Only the top 4 teams?
Only the top 4 teams
so
still.
top 4 of 7 make it to championship weekend, play a semis and a finals.
And our championship weekend this year is going to be in the Bay Area, which is really exciting.
That's
yes,
really
we're going to go to the
exciting.
Bay, which I know the Bay Area wants a better chance after finishing fourth last season, despite in the regular season only losing 1 game to the Utah Wild.
Yep. Oh, I forgot about that.
So that was our first game last year where the Wild came back after a 7-point deficit.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the Wild could not do that again, but
yes, exactly. No Brooke, no Kendra. So.
I know. Yeah, and I think it has been just such a big adjustment with the Wild and their new roster. I don't think that necessarily excuses everything that happens because we had such highlight stars.
Yes.
Like Morgan Williams. But it's been really exciting to see how this new team adjusts over the season. Because, I mean, the Western Ultimate League is just such a different monster than club.
Yes, it's true. Well, I've loved having the WUL and just the way that it showcases athletes, the way that it brings like some players that normally play mixed in the club season, then it gets them playing women's, and so we can really see these players just, come together and play on the same team, but also that means that there's some adjustments, right? Like there's players that haven't ever been teammates before that are now on the same team and learning, what are their preferred throws and cuts and all of those things.
And it looks like we're almost ready for our halftime interview. I'm going to introduce the player, and we'll do it again if we need more time. But we have Mackenzie Perquette here for the Wild, who's going to be interviewing Robin Fassett-Carman from the Alpenglow. And Fassett-Carman has had a great game. I think she threw some really clever throws. And we're going to throw it down to Mac.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mac from the Wild Media Team here with Robin, the captain of the Alpenglow. Congratulations, first win of the season. What do you attribute Alpenglow's success in such, a big score gap here against the Utah Wild?
Yeah, we've been putting in the work off the field. We just got a team of dogs here, and that's been our mentality. We're just work hard, put in that focus and grind. And, this is our first ever away game win. So really exciting.
In program history?
Program history.
No kidding.
Yeah, pretty wild. Really exciting.
Congratulations. And I'm curious, do you have a specific person or line that you want to shout out for this game that you really felt like had that extra dog in them?
100%. I mean, we had so many people on the field who did amazing today. I think offensively, Sarah Levin just went off today. Her ability to sky almost anyone is incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, super proud.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then my last question is, obviously y'all were the 2024 WL champs. I'm curious if that's something that's in the back of your minds as you head into this season. Would you say that's not even a conversation right now? How is that, jiving with this new team?
Definitely a goal for us. But I think we're just taking it one game at a time. Like, first step, win an away game, Second step, win the next game. So I think, we're just taking it step by step, but that's definitely the goal. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Congrats, and go celebrate with your team. Woo.
Go. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mac and Robin Fassett-Carmen. Congrats on the win, Alpenglow. The Utah Wild's next game will be April 5th at home, so we will be back at Judge Memorial Stadium versus San Diego. You won't want to miss it. Nat, any final words?
That's it. We cannot wait to see you at the next game, and we're excited to see what Wild can do this season.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Continue to tune into the Western Ultimate League for our game tomorrow. It'll be Arizona versus San Diego, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks so much.
Bye.